and when I was in college, and she was a couple of years before me, had graduated, maybe, in the same program I did, music theory. And so, without further ado, Kirby Gould from the Christian Church Foundation.
Well, good morning. Appreciate the opportunity to be with you all today. Just want to give you just a Reader's Digest version about who I am and the ministry that I represent through the Christian Church Foundation, and then invite all of you, as it says, have pizza with Kirby. I mean, I'm not going to eat all of it, so you need to come and share part of that as well. The Christian Church Foundation is one of the general units of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ. We're headquartered in Indianapolis, but I have what we call a zone office located in Kansas City. So I travel 7 states on behalf of the foundation. We focus on an area of ministry that we call the stewardship of accumulated resources. We think about the ways in which we give our annual income to the annual budget of the church, or there might be a special capital campaign or something we take money from another pocket to give from. But we really concentrate on that accumulated assets area, not just for our individuals, but churches as well. So we do 3 very specific things. One is that we help churches develop policies for permanent funds and endowments, special gifts, bequests. And you recently have started your own Eldon Foundation, First Christian Church Eldon Foundation. So you already have seen that vision of what it might look like to have accumulated assets and the wonderful things that can happen with those gifts. The second thing is that we have an investment program that churches and regions and institutions of the Christian Church Disciples of Christ can place money on deposit with us and hopefully grow. You know, there's that proverb that says, the market giveth and the market taketh away. So there are some of those leaner years, but over time we hope to grow assets so that there is even more money for you to utilize for ministry. The third thing, and what I believe is our most important aspect of what we do, is working with individuals on their own personal estate planning and to help them encourage thinking about the church as a part of their long-term giving, typically at the time of their death. And so we help churches be good stewards of what they're going to receive, and we help individuals be good stewards of what they might give. So we're going to kind of expand on that information after church today and give you a variety of information, and then find out the ways that we can partner with you to help bring more money into your ministry. Not so that our foundation benefits, but so that this church, First Christian Church, benefits from those gifts. Back on a very small table back there, I have a couple of brochures if you're not able to stay. One of the statistics that we continue to know is out there is that 7 out of 10 people in this country die without a will. Now, I'm going to assume all of you have a will and you have all your plans together, but just in case, maybe it's for a son or a daughter, at the back there's a brochure called A Guide to Making a Will. There's also one that says a personal and charitable financial record, so whatever you need to write down about what you own, what you owe, where the safe deposit box key is, those important things that you need to take to your financial advisor to put the plans together. And then that all-important brochure, pre-funeral service arrangements. You know, something we're just dying to talk about. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Something that I am sure Pastor Bill would appreciate. You are doing these things and writing things down ahead of time. It makes the planning of a service so much easier. There's also a final brochure that is our newsletter, and it talks about a very important provision that was passed in Congress last year about IRA giving. If you are over the age of 70 and a half, and I think maybe 1 or 2 of you here are over 70 and a half, you can give money directly from an IRA to the church without having to pay taxes on that required minimum distribution. So there's just a lot of information we can share and try to impart upon you today, but in hopes that we can set a plan into place to have you come back and do some more with you. Just one final personal story. My mother passed away on January the 18th, 2014. 3 weeks later, as we gathered for her funeral, I and my 4 brothers and sisters literally walked across the street from the church to the Edward Jones office, and we were then notified by our agent about the money that we were about to inherit. So there were 5 of us children, and what we realized is that we were not getting, each of us were not getting a 1/5 of the estate. But Mom and Dad had included a 6th heir, First Christian Church, McPherson, Kansas. And so the life and the legacy of our mother and father is not just living on through the 5 of us, but through the ministry of that church that they spent 65 years as a member of. And now that money is in a permanent fund, and the income generated from that fund is in essence perpetuating my mother's pledge, even though she's no longer in the pew to write that check every month. So I encourage you to start thinking about this important, even though not quite at the top of the list, subject. And please join me this afternoon as we try to speak a little bit further about it. And feel free to ask me any questions as time goes on. And again, appreciate the opportunity to be with you. Thank you.